with analyzing gender bias in workspace. So generally, boys feel that girls have more priority during placement seasons, and corporate is a smooth sailing board for them. Now, is that actually the case? No. In fact, it's the other way around. Let's analyze. Gender bias is an age-old issue that still prevails with very little improvement. Even though multiple steps are introduced by various organizations, there seem to be no improvement whatsoever. All the studies that exist today are general surveys that concern a subset of the population. Ours is a data-driven analysis of bias in workspace. A data-driven study on bias can provide detailed insight into the features and can lead to viable solutions that bring improvements. So we use three datasets. One is the Glassdoor dataset, the other one is the layoff dataset, and the third one is the UK pay gap dataset. The Glassdoor dataset was curated using Glassdoor data and gives information like employee base pay, bonus, age, seniority, department, job title, etc. The layoffs dataset was curated using information that is available in the layoffs.fii website. The UK pay gap dataset was a dataset that was made publicly available by the UK government that contains the pay gap and bonus gap information reported by the companies directly to the government. So we did different set of experiments for all these three datasets separately. For the Glassdoor dataset, we did general data explorations, pay gap versus major feature comparison, t-test analysis, regression analysis, and propensity score matching. For the layoffs dataset, we did general data explorations, layoffs comparison between males and females, and within females, the layoff comparison between leadership and non-leadership roles. For the UK pay gap dataset, we did a descriptive statistics comparison between years and K-means clustering study. So these are the results of the Glassdoor dataset. The graph on the left side will give bonus information, and the graph on the right side gives base pay information. As you can see from the bonus graph, there is not much difference in bonus, but when it comes to base pay, the mean and the range of base pay is very much different in males compared to females. These histograms also give the same information. The range of base pay and the mean is significantly different in males compared to females. Now, these three graphs give the pay gap comparison between features like seniority, education, department. As you can see from the seniority graph, as seniority increases, the pay gap is reducing. And from the education graph, you can see that candidates with PhD and masters observe lesser pay gap compared to college graduates. And from the department graph, you can see that engineering and the sales are two major departments that observe the most amount of pay gap. Now, the t-test analysis. T-test is a statistical hypothesis test that is used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of two groups. Here we obtained a t-value of 5.392, which indicates that the difference in mean pay between males and females is statistically significant. The p-value obtained here is 0.0. A low p-value indicates that the probability of obtaining a difference in mean pay is as extreme as it can get. Now, these are the results of the regression analysis. We've captured the R-squared value and the coefficient values here. An R-squared value is a statistical measure that represents the proportion of variance in the dependent variable that is explained using the independent variable. Here we have an R-squared value of 0.649, which indicates that 65% of the variance in base pay can be explained by the independent variables included in the model. So the coefficient here represents the change in response for a unit change in the predictor variable. So from the age information given here, you can see that age has a positive effect on base pay with an increase in 1 year associated with an increase of 1,000 units in base pay. Similarly, you can see that education, department code, seniority all have positive impact on base pay. Now, these are the results of the propensity score matching. So we've considered females as the treatment group and male as a control group. So these are the propensity score observed, and ATE refers to the average treatment effect. In this case, the negative ATE score of 11,500 suggests that, on average, the base pay of females is lower than the base pay of males. Now, these are the results of the layoffs dataset analysis. So these are the companies whose data that we used. We've used data from Atlassian, Xero, Quora, and DoorDash. So the pie chart on left compares the layoffs between males and females. As you can see here, the males observe significantly lesser layoffs compared to females. And the pie chart on the right side gives the comparison between layoffs among leadership and non-leadership roles in females. So as you can see here, females in leadership roles observe more layoffs compared to those in non-leadership roles. Now, these are the results of the analysis in UK pay gap dataset. The graph on the left side gives bonus gap information. As you can see here, the bonus gap is increasing over the years. But however, on the right side, which gives a base pay gap information, the pay gap is remaining constant almost throughout the years. Now, this graph shows the information on the number of companies reporting the information over the years. As you can see here, that the value is decreasing, which is not a very good indicator, as reporting data to the government is a good incentive for the companies to enforce rules that help mitigate the pay gap. Now, these are the results on the study that is, these are the results of the clustering study. So as you can see here, 4 is the optimal number of clusters, and we've grouped the companies into 4 different clusters based on the pay gap and bonus gap information. So these information can be used for further analysis. For example, companies in one group observe similar mean, pay gap, and bonus gap information. So the rules and the properties of the companies can be studied further to bring in solutions that are viable. So these are the limitations of our study. Glassdoor dataset is not an official dataset that is published by the Glassdoor, and the dataset that is used mostly comes from the IT industry. The layoffs dataset does not take into account the employee ratio of the companies owing to those details being private. Only numeric representation of the bias, and we have not put forward any solution. So these numeric information can be used to bring in solutions that are viable.